Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk French. This week I'm with Brandon.
Yup.
And Joelle.
Yeah.
And before we get into it, don't forget to like, follow, share and subscribe. So I don't mind which one of you to answer it first. But who do you lot think deals better with heartbreak, men or women? I know the answer already. But what do you lot think?
I think woman.
Really? Why do you think women do?
Because if a man like truly loved the girl at the time or whatever, bro, like I feel like he's gonna go through serious depression, and it's gonna, you know, ruin his character towards people, and he may not even look at himself the same. Quick example: I went to school with one guy, and he was dating some girl for like 3 years. Then the girl ended up cheating on him with someone else. And before that, he was a calm guy, talks to everyone. After that, he was just different. Like, I'm talking in a dark place. And I was like to him, like, yo, like, are you good and stuff? And he was just like, yeah, like, he literally said it with his own words, like when I look in the mirror, I don't even know who I see anymore. So I genuinely think, and I've been through heartbreak as well once, and from my experience as well, you start to question everything, your masculinity, everything. You're just thinking, fucking hell.
I hear it though.
Like, it's serious, you know. Like, you're just thinking, because especially the way I grew up, I'm taking this where, like, respect is a big thing for me, especially my ends. And I was, you know, quite a popular guy. So when that's happened to me, I'm just thinking, like, all that toughness that I was presenting outside, but when I was indoors, I'm thinking, bro, like,
It's peak.
shit,
It's peak.
like, this really happened, innit? and it's peak, and it took me a while to get over it, to be fair. So that's what I feel like. And I feel like with women, it's just like they're good at covering it up. They can do things to, I don't know, to, you know, make their situation better. So attention seek, you know, chat to other guys, da. But just imagine from a boy's perspective, you're seeing your ex just doing the most on Snap, on Insta now, all of a sudden you're broken up. Bro,
It hits.
that's your heart, bro. Like, you're just thinking, a guy can't, so it's like, cut you off, but a guy can't now go on Insta or Snap, start flexing, or, you know, they can't do that.
Yeah.
But a girl can do that, you know. And when they do that, you're spurring,
You know they're
man.
getting reception from
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So what do you think? You still think women, men? Who do you think?
You know, when you said the whole thing about guys dealing with like the heartbreak,
Yeah.
I think one time when I thought I was heartbroken, I can't lie, I think it changed me slightly. I think I became less sensitive to that. What's it called? That I don't want to say less emotional. Like, it sounds really cringe when you say that you're not as emotional to things, whatever. But I was definitely less sensitive. Like, I didn't let myself be like emotional as much anymore. But I think guys deal with it worse until they're over. But when you're over it, you're over it. And it's done.
Yeah.
I think, I'm trying to think of an example of that. I don't know, it's also like the way guys see it, like heartbreak, like once, I don't know. I think when you get into a mentality like heartbreak is only like how you like want yourself to be or whatever, then it's done, if that makes sense. But I think in the tone, like the whole like straight away, once you're heartbroken, I think girls will be less dramatic. It's gonna sound weird to say, innit? But I think the girl will be less dramatic on it. Guys being dramatic on a heartbreak. I've been a dramatic person, you know what I mean? Can't lie, like, Innes can vouch for that. But literally, yeah, I think girls are better with like keeping it like, I don't want to say, they're better keeping it G when it comes to heartbreaking, really.
I think we are, but I also think
100%.
I think so. Obviously, your example made me think about it differently as well. Yeah, but I feel like for me, I think the reason why we deal with it better is because when it happens, well, I can speak for only for me, but we process it now. Like, we don't really prolong it. Like, we'll deal with it, but we know that life still goes on there. Like, I won't stop everything that I'm doing. Like, for me, it won't change. Well, some girls, they might change it, but like, for me personally, like, it's not. Like, for me, I'll take it in now, and I'll deal with it, and then I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know about you two, but I feel like a lot of boys, like, when they go through things,
affected me hard.
Yeah, like they'll brush it and then randomly it'll hit them, and then now they got to deep it.
I feel like I was in denial. I was like, when I was actually feeling the type of way, I was like, bro, I can't be heartbroken. I was like, and it hit me. I was like, oh my god, like, must feel the type of way about it. You get, but nah, I think now, I feel like only because I'm over it now, I think it is partly like just me being dramatic about a whole situation, if that makes sense. So, say now, I don't think I could be heartbroken again, only because like my view on it, I think like in life in general is that, I think T-Way had a bar was like, everything I lost out, I get it back tenfold or whatever. I think if you view that on, what's it called, everything, whereas heartbreak, say you like something, it doesn't have to be a relationship, like anything that's actually just hurting your heart or something like that, thinking about it, thinking, cool, I can be upset about it, but that, like, me being upset about it is temporary. When I, later on in life, like I said, get it back tenfold, like, you don't really see yourself as heartbroken no more. It's more of just that, that's a passing time, really. And after it should be good. But yeah, guys are definitely worse.
No, 100%.
Guys are definitely worse, I'd say.
And I agree with what you're saying as well. It's just like, definitely now, if I was to get heartbroken now, it's not going to hit me as much, just because obviously you learn as you get older, right? So normally like these heartbreaks, they'll probably occur like when you're 15, 16, and as you get older, there's more to life. You start to realize. Right. So when you're going, if I was to go for a heartbreak again, it's just more like, alright, cool. If you're on that, or let's not even put it like someone cheated on that. If we're not gonna work or this and that, then it's cool. I get it, but I'm just gonna focus on myself.
Yeah,
it's hard at the time, but I view it as in like, it's temporary, like my man said, innit? It's very temporary. I think like if you can, you know, to not to dwell on it as much, and to know it's just a certain time, and it hurts, but once we skip that hurdle, it's just tunnel vision from there, innit?
But for you two, do you not feel like, because obviously with girls, I think what's good with girls, you're like, all like my female friendships, our support system is all solid, innit? So I can like, if I want to cry to I can cry to my girl, feel no way about it. I'm never
crying to the guy. Respect. You know, it sounds bad to say, but I think it's just like, I've never cried to a guy or whatever. The last time, I think it's different when like obviously your emotions, say like a family member's passed or something like that. I feel like that's a different thing. But over like your emotions or something like that, it's bad to say that. It's very like, I think it's a very toxic way of thinking. But it's just I don't think my body would let me cry.
I don't know about the crying thing, but I therefore know like it's the ranting, I guess, I would have.
I can rant, yeah.
So the rant is just more like violating. Like it's got violent. You know what I mean? Like
I can rant my heart out, but the tear won't come out my eye.
The tear won't come out my eye, but it's therefore. But then again, it's just like, I guess, I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong, but with females, it's just like, it's a lot of, oh yeah, I've been through that as well, or I'm going through that, or this and that. Where guys, it's like, most of my friends, they're not focusing on like girls or relationships. So if I'm chatting to my guy, like, yeah, like this and this and this happened, he's not gonna relate to the 100% that I want him to relate. So it's just more like, oh yeah, like
it's calm.
Yeah, it's kind of like you got
leave that.
Yeah, it's more to love, get money, whatever it is.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you lot are really solution. Cause even when I speak to like, let's say I'm venting maybe like you, like another one of my male friends and my girl ones, like I feel like, if I'm wrong or not, but with you lot are way more, and it's good, but you lot are way more solution based, which is good, but at the same time, it's still healthy to process it and then move on. Like sometimes I've been in situations where I want to be upset, and like one of my friends, like KD for example, he'll just be like, he'll listen to me and then be like, yeah, but it's calm, like all you gotta do is just focus on this and that, it'll be fine, this man now, which is true, but at the same time it's like, it's still good to deal with the emotions now. And then, do you know what I mean? Otherwise, because again, like I said earlier, I feel like if you don't deal with it now, eventually it'll catch up to you, and now you're in this bad place for no reason.
A lot of things train you on heartbreak as well. Like heartbreak, I feel like when obviously you hear the word heartbreak, everyone thinks it's a relationship type. It can be that, bro, anything can like break your heart really. Like friendships
real talk,
or whatever. Like you just being that, I don't know, bad, like with your work, or you feel like life's not going your way or something like that. That could all be heartbreaking. But I feel like all those little hurdles that will help you deal with it. Like I said, like your way of thinking about things. If knowing like, cool, this is only a period of time. After that, like I know, like I'll get back better or something like that. Then that's all gonna help you when you like become heartbroken. Or that's how I view of it. I feel like that's just the way of thinking. Trying to like see silver lining in it. That's obviously.
Yeah, I definitely agree. To be fair, and for me personally, I just see it as like the way I move nowadays. It's just like everything is what it is type thing for me. I feel like with men as well, we just anything we're meant to, like not meant, but we take a lot of, we deal with a lot of battles day to day.
Yeah.
Right. So if we're going through like a heartbreaking relationship or life or whatever it is, it's just like, bro, it is what it is. This is what comes with life, I guess. So I guess with me personally, just everything is just like, all right, so no more, it is what it is. Like I just got keep pushing forward. But I do agree with you that we should, at times.
I think that's
soak
why,
it in.
I think that's why people. Sorry to cut you. I think that's why. What's it called? Like you'll get like, me as well. I'll get the title of being like nonchalant with things, or say when people want me to like react to like a certain situation, or say something's happened or whatever, and someone's like, bro, like why aren't you more upset about it or whatever? I feel like that's like how the whole like. I don't want to say nonchalant, cause I feel like that's a negative word of saying it, but like not letting like situations get you down. But I feel like it's like being too laid back on things. I feel like that's like how like it gets to there. I think when people are always,
I hear that.
Yeah, people are always telling you, oh, this guy's he's bare nonchalant or whatever. If like he doesn't really show me or
emotions,
or something like that, then I feel like that's kind of like one of the reasons like where it stems from. Like that, but it's my view on it, literally.
Yeah, I hear what you're I hear that, to be fair. I hear that. I think then again it comes from it's both ways, right? Because then people will say that, the people that smile a lot, talk a lot, they're the person that probably needs the most attention.
That is true.
And and it's just like, the person that's like, oh, like, yo, like motivating others, you're like, oh yeah, keep going. But the people that don't, listen to their own preaching.
Yeah.
They're the most, that's probably the most upset. And they give out a lot because they're not
getting back
anything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's just like, it's a balance of both. Because then again, one that's the silent one in the room, that's like, yeah, cool. He probably needs help as well. So it's weird.
It's a weird one.
It's definitely a weird one.
I hear it.
So then, this is a bit similar to the heartbreak, but like you see, like with women and men, obviously I think there's similarities, but I feel like one of our clearest differences is us emotionally. Like, like how a man is and a woman is. Like no matter how society will play certain things, I feel like there's just certain things that, like, I can't word it. Basically, like, even though me being a woman, there's just certain things that the way I may deal with something, just because it's you'll do it. Not because we're different people, but like that's how men and women deal with things in general now. Do you agree that it's different, or do you feel like it can be like kind of not taught, but like you can be trained to deal with something differently? Does that make sense? Should I word it differently?
Yeah, word it differently.
You word it again. So basically, like I feel like we're all different. I feel like with men and women, like one of the things that makes us proper different is the way we just naturally, us naturally, how we deal with stuff. Like for example, like how like with parents, like how a mother is, how a father is. Like you can't just teach it. You can't teach that. There's something in us that's a mother's like that and a father's like that.
It's like maternal love.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So you can expect your mother to be like more of that like nurturing type of oh you're right, like comforting type of, but your dad's more on a, I don't know, like I don't want to say harsher, like I know some sensitive dads and whatever, but like you expect him to be that whole like manly, like
don't cry,
like
cry,
I don't want to say be a man type of flex,
but I know what you mean, but like
that's what I think.
So are you trying to say, should that change? What are you trying to get at?
Like, do you think we can change that, or you think we can't change? Like can it be taught?
It can definitely be taught, 100%. Anything can be taught. Like this is like this, and I guess the way life's evolving right now, it's different, right? So like when you was younger, well, we can probably go to school when we was younger. if we did something, we'll get beaten, right? And then nowadays, you cannot.
Yeah, it's like techie.
It's techie, like straight. And then the whole like, you know, what's going on lately, the whole like feminism, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And they say the generation's becoming soft now and all that stuff. So, like, I do agree that, you know, we can all, like, it can all change. And there are fathers out there that are nurturing just as...
That's true.
That's like women are, you know. There's situations where, you know, the mother doesn't want the child anymore and the father has to take that role. And now he has to somehow be nurturing and loving and
That
be
is very
motivated
true.
and willing.
Yeah, single dads, isn't it?
Yeah, I was even
Single dads.
Yeah, because I was even going to say, like, you know, like even the whole attitude that people have towards, like, for example, like I actually know some people that are single dads that do an amazing job, but I'm like, a lot of people won't blame the mum for not being there, whereas when it's a single mum, like, I can't word of it. It's like
when it's the single dad, they'll blame that. When it's a single mum, I mean, they'll blame the dad not being around.
There, yeah.
But then when the single dad, it's like he's doing the same. Like I feel like it's even. Obviously, I'm not a parent, but I feel like it's even a bit harder because like this is even though we're both parents, yeah, but it's like it's kind of unfair because it's like he doesn't have what.
Go on.
I
don't want to say it's the like natural way of looking at it, but like the whole like I think when people see that a relationship or whatever, they expect like it's the man's duty to hold the family in place. As in, say if the family's broken up, then it's not like. I'm not saying it should be like that, but I feel like they'll look on the man straight away and be like, so why didn't you keep your family together or something like that? Or that I think along those lines, it's gonna go down to the guy's fault. And I'm not saying it's always the guy's fault, innit? Like some things you can't help. Like if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I feel like the basis of just like looking at like a house that's like that or like a family like that, you'll think to the guy like, oh, what is it? The guy that does that that's done something wrong.
Whereas
like that,
not other way around,
because
it's true. Cause I'm saying, cause when you see single dads raising kids and that, you don't start saying, "Oh, the mum this." You don't say anything. But then when it's the single mum, you're quick to like assume. I'm not saying that the dad's always in the right. I'm just saying like you don't do the same thing when it's the other way around. Unfortunately, do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's
100%.
also like that's also not. I don't use the word fair, but it's not fair at all. Do you know what I mean?
No, I 100% agree. It's stuff like. No, when let's say the woman and the dad, I said the woman and dad, well, the mother and the father, right, break up, right, and it's like the mother gets straight custody of the child,
Yeah.
And he's only allowed to see the child
on her terms,
her terms, or in basically in her terms, right?
Yeah.
And you know that has a big effect on the child. A massive effect, and also it's just like, yeah, man, like a lot of the stuff, like I don't know, like there's a lot of stuff that I just don't agree with, as in terms of where like you said, like men, I guess from the beginning of time, right, so like men are supposed to hold down the house, right, or this and that. If it didn't ever happen, you know, you look onto the dad, right, but like you said, a lot of the shit, bro, it stems from, I think a lot of more time it stems from the woman, but because it's a household, who's representing the household is the dad.
Yeah.
So it's just like he's probably getting more of the brunt as he should.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
Gets the blame,
as I guess to other eyes, she should be. But yeah.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah, it's
That's something that needs to change. That's something like
What?
just how like you look at something straight away and just think the guys.
You just jump to it straight away.
Yeah,
And
it's
assume.
like say I don't know. Say like you come out of a relationship as well. That's when I know times when I've said, oh yeah, like I was in a relationship before, and I'm like, oh, so why'd you not break up? Then it just goes straight away to what did you do?
What did you? Yeah.
Isn't that, it can never
what did
be
you
the
do?
other ways. I've always had it, or when girls have asked like my other brethren, like, oh, what did you do to break up? Like it couldn't be the girl's fault. Or
You can even stretch it and be like, you know, like the way certain people's like their attitude towards like abuse. Like even like when you see like I'm on Twitter sometimes, yeah. And like the way like certain girls will make a joke about, oh, if you did that, I'll just do. I'm thinking that's abuse. Cause like let's say a girl, I'm saying but basically like I think I saw this today, yeah. It was something to do with a boy, and this girl quote tweeted like something that if that was a man, she would smack him up all day, and I'm like,
If that was
my man, and if that was my man, I would have smacked him up all day or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know what a guy did, but my thing is like, it's like women can kind of say that, and it's like, oh, she's only joking, but it's like, you see, if a guy was to say that, that's not a joke, and it's like, it's not a joke on, but to me, like, it's not a joke on both sides though.
No, in both sides. 100%.
And that's what I'm saying. Like when certain men get abused, that's why like sometimes I feel like better men get
like a lot of men get a bit abused, and it might be mentally abused, physical abuse, but like men take a lot of the brunt, and especially like, look, when women out here beating up the man, and then one time out of self-defense, he caps back. It's just like, oh my god, he hit me. He's gonna kill now. It's gone from he's hit me. He's calling the feds. He's gonna kill me. I'm scared. All of this stuff. So it's just like, it's sad because it's just like, if men don't have evidence that this is what happened, this is the occasion, then
it's long.
You're guilty. You're guilty, right? So
what do you think about it? Same, innit?
Yeah, it's just such a sensitive topic. You know what it is?
Yeah, very sensitive.
I think no matter, God forbid, I'm ever in that situation in the first place. But I think if a girl was to ever hit me, I don't think I could actually my body would let me even do a clap back. The most I could do is hold you, hold you, just bro, chill. I could ever do, but I think as soon as, I don't know, it's just a sensitive topic. I'll be real.
No, it is sensitive.
And like I said, it's 100%.
That's heartbreaking.
It's sensitive. It's very sensitive.
Unfortunately, this is what happens in day-to-day normal society.
100.
And it happens more than we think, and more than people want to talk about. But we live in a place where social media is the biggest thing. So you will see stuff like you saw today, and you will see stuff, the relationships of people arguing this and that. He hit me, he did this and that. But I guess you're as bad as each other, right? If it's a toxic relationship, shit happens.
Yeah,
right? I can't sorry to cut you.
Yeah, no.
I wonder if I actually know people that's been in that abusive relationships when it's the girl hitting the guy. Cause I know I've heard stories where say they'll be arguing, and bro be telling me about him arguing with Mrs. or something like that, and his girl's throwing shit at him. But even to me, even throwing shit in an argument, that's crazy. That I don't get a whole. But
and let's not get, sorry to cut you off, but let's not get this twisted, right? When a woman decides to do toxic stuff and abuse a man, they know that my man is capable of doing this, my man is capable of doing that. He lives a certain lifestyle, or he lives this certain lifestyle, so it can be taken advantage upon. If the guy is not a soft person, but calm person, chilled, and then she dashes a cup of it, she knows he ain't gonna do nothing. That's something to take advantage of, right? Because it's now like, I know that I can do this and I do this, and I can push the boundaries without retaliation, right? And there's some of situations where they know what their man is. Their man has, let's say, a difficulty of responding right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes things happen and they lash out without thinking, right? And if you're in a relationship, you should know each other to the T, right? Especially if you're in an actual relationship, and if you decide to, abuse him in somewhat a form, and God forbid he retaliates back, where you're now getting hurt. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't have expected that, but you know that this has a potential of happening.
So are you saying, like, for example, so let's say I'm in a relationship with like a hothead that's like everyone knows is like maybe like in school he's even someone that used to like even fight with girls, or even saying like if I dash something at him, you know what he's already like. Is that what you're saying? Or you're not saying that?
I'm saying, like, if you're in a relationship, you should, especially in a this is why I say relationship, not just a link or whatever. Sometimes a link, we don't know each other like that. It just may be, a honeymoon stage, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But if you're in a relationship, you've expressed feelings and love for each other, and talked about how you've grown up, your background, and how you are as generally a human being. And that goes for the woman as well. So now, if an argument happens and she ends up doing something, I'm saying that she should understand or known before, let's say if something did happen, that there is a potential, not that it's going to happen, but there's a potential that he may react without him thinking, and that may result to me getting hurt. And this is where I'm saying personally that women need to be, women need to be careful in general and how they react or respond to certain things.
I think I know what you're saying.
No, do you get what I'm trying to say?
I think I know
I had a friend that told me that. Me and her was just talking. I think we were just talking about that situation that we like seeing on Twitter or like whatever, that day-to-day things or whatever stories that we hear. So I think she must have said that this is her saying as a girl, right? She's saying that she didn't understand why girls would try to like fight a guy as well, saying like she say that, bro, like as angry as she is, she's not gonna try to scrap with a guy because she'll say that in her head that she's just like she got it, like she'll lose, whatever. In most cases, obviously, some girls stronger than me. Some girls out there, there's probably girls that are stronger than me. I would never put myself personally, but I don't think any guy should put themselves in a situation to fight a girl, knowing that 9 times out of 10,
you're gonna.
Something's gonna happen.
It's not a fair fight, and even if it was, like, what are you doing? Like, you can't. It's not that you're gonna go around saying, like, she hit me, I smoked her. What? Just a girl.
But you know what I was gonna say, and I agree with what your friend said, because with me, like, even with arguments and that, one of the reasons, but with me, like, just the whole natural stuff, like. A woman's strong is not a man being strong, innit? Like,
100%.
I think I'm quite strong for a woman, but it's like a lot of like I'm not winning a fight with a lot of men. That's just straight up. If and what you said as well earlier, I'm not like I'm justifying anything at all. What I'm saying is like it's just your natural instinct. If someone hits me, I'm gonna what like if you like I don't know you're trying to stab like as in maybe you touch something sharp on the guy that hits, he's going to react naturally the human being. I'm not saying he should go and hit, but it's like you're going to react. My thing is, why am I gonna go my way and hurt my partner? Because it's like for me, I've always believed like just basically for everyone, keep your hands to yourself in it. Just in general, in it, just keep hands to yourself. Just hands. If you want to argue, just I don't know, but you can't be out here hitting. Definitely not. People.
And I don't know if you saw the story about the woman that stabbed up her boyfriend.
I think what the was she her
OnlyFans model? Yeah. What? She balled him up.
It's not funny yet. But
bro,
balled him up.
No, like literally. And you know what it is, right? It's not like there's that bad. It's not even like yo, she's out of nowhere just start stabbing, man. There's a build up. It's a toxic relationship, and there was videos that shown that she was very abusive.
I swear.
Yeah, there's video in the lift of like her mashing him.
And he's not
hitting her back. He's trying to hold her.
You get what I'm trying to say? So obviously I don't know what happened when she decided to start stabbing, man. But it's just like my point is, it's just like I don't know, because this is weird. Because from past, as we saw from the video, that she's trying to fight him and he's not really on it. He's trying to restrain her, right? How did it get from that
to that,
right? And is it? I'm just asking a question. Is it she took advantage of the fact that I know that he's not going to do anything, and I like the feeling of him being frightened of me, or is it? We don't know. Maybe he's retaliated at some point as well, and she was just scared for her life. But just like I don't know, that story that happened is nowhere as big as if it was switched around, and that's a if
it was like an OJ Simpson type.
Like if a man just say the same thing that happened in the elevator, they're scruffing at each other. If it was opposite, right? That's everywhere. But the fact that you don't,
I didn't even know about that, and I'm quite active on socials.
Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I think, but do you think was
that last year? Like, is this recent?
This is
because I had a word.
There was. She even got let out on bail. Like she was out in bail. Like when the feds came, she was covered in blood. Right? She
and they
clearly
were speaking
said
to her. I think they were speaking to the officers. That was a guy covered in blood and the woman's there, bro. There's no talking.
100%. You're gone.
And especially this is America. Yeah, let's be honest. They're coming with their straps ready, just in case look, we don't know what my man's capable of. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just like, yeah, man, yeah, it's fucked up.
What I was gonna say, do you think you see how you have like like an abusive relationship? Obviously, you're never really gonna know what keeps someone staying there. But I'm saying, I think one of the reasons is trying to link it to the whole heartbreaking thing. I think people are very scared of being heartbroken. That will make them stay in like situations like that. If that makes sense. Or the whole like, obviously sometimes you can actually be like scared to leave and whatever. Or you just like, I don't know, maybe you're delusional as well. Some people just move like that. But I think the whole being scared of being heartbroken, I think that will cause a lot of people to stick in situations where they shouldn't have like allowed themselves to be in.
I think it's also people scared of being alone. I feel like at a certain age,
100%.
like let's say you're like, let's say, I don't know, in your 40s and you're proper settled down now. Like some people, like especially like, let's say it's your first time, it's all you ever known, innit? Some people will let it slide, but it's like that they're just scared to be alone because they've never been alone, or they just don't like do you know what I mean? Maybe some people just, they just be like, they just ride it out because of the fear of,
I think that's like people that hop from like relationship to relationship. Like once you're done in a relationship, instead of like you trying to like take your time, let yourself like work out what's like up there. Instead, you're just jumping on with the next person. That man.
How long do you guys think you would need? Just out of curiosity.
Say that again?
How long do you guys think you would need from a relationship to the next one? Just out of curiosity, just heartbreak aside, just like in general.
What? That's a good question.
First, I think the first time I took time, like almost 2 years or a year and a half. But I wouldn't say that I need time. Like obviously, I think the way to deal with that is just waiting until you know like something's better. Like, I wouldn't just go with, say I've been heartbroken and then someone else comes along, even if they're better looking or whatever, I'm not just gonna jump with them thinking, you know, cool, especially if I know that up there, like, I'm just not good yet, or whatever. But I wouldn't start speaking to someone unless I know that, bro, like, cool, I'm not really thinking about the other person anymore. And I think to deal with, I don't know, to get back with move on with someone else, you need to know, like, you're free from whatever shackles had you from before. Do you know what I mean?
Had your handcuffs.
Like, there's certain ways how you know, like certain things when I've seen, like when I don't know, you know when like you're constantly checking on someone's page or something. I'm not gonna act like guys don't do that or whatever. As much as you're saying you don't care, that you can check on someone's page, watch their stories and whatnot. People do that. Like I think for me, when like I forgot about the person, or until like my boy mentioned, he's like, "Oh, what's Thing saying? Have you heard from it?" And that's when I was like, you know what, like, I haven't even thought about them in a while, or whatever. That's when I was like, cool, like, free, I can
ready to
I'm ready to chat to whoever else, like, and be like fully in that, rather than having any like attachments to the last
person. Yeah,
I just think in terms of length, I think just take your time. I think just take your time. I think, like I said, going into another relationship, I'll say take your time. Yeah. If you're just, go for your single, go for your single stage, linking, do your thing. But if you want to jump into another committed relationship, you've got to take your time. And like you said perfectly, that all that past trauma that you've had, at least, not to say you've forgotten about 100%, but you're ready to stand up and say, I'm ready to give this person a chance to, not even a chance, but like,
you can give yourself to them fully.
It's
not, you can't put someone else's trauma on the next person.
On the next person. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. And I feel like a lot of people do that nowadays, and because they don't want to be lonely, right? Yes. So, I think for me, everyone deals with things
their own way,
and get over things quicker than others, generally. But I think just take your time. There's no rush. So if it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, a month, a week, whatever it is,
just take your
time and work on yourself. That's the biggest thing. Have your thing patterned first, and make sure that you know, you've learned from your mistakes. You've analyzed, this is what's went wrong. Maybe it's communication based or whatever it is. So you know, like when I go to this next relationship, I'm gonna make sure we communicate to the T.
Yeah, and just be
because in the past, you know, communications has led to other things that's, you know, just became worse and worse and whatever, and we end up not being together for whatever reason. So it's just like learning that, and also learning the person as well. It's like, it's not like a one-way thing. If I want to chat to you and we're going to be serious, I'm going to give my all to you. Have you released yourself from your own shackles?
Yeah, before talking to her.
And it is not like for example, girls would always want their man to like know exactly where they are all the time. Like, I need to know where you are, this and that. And, you know, have that trust, like, you know, that's how I was with my ex, but I have that trust with this person. Like, I trust him, so wherever he's going, I take his word, and I'm not going to let what
happened
the past dictate how I react to this person. That's basically what I'm saying.
I think so, yeah.
Can I ask you, see, you said you suffered heartbreak before. Do you think now, like, obviously, when you was healed from that heartbreak, would you look back at it and think, I was actually proper heartbroken?
Nah, man, I was heartbroken still.
You was?
I was heartbroken.
Oh,
you know what? Do you know what it is? Yeah. And do you know, like, if I'm looking back at it now, it's just like, does that still affect me now? I don't know. But I feel like it has some sort of level of how I view things now. It's just like I view things very, very different.
Yeah.
Right. So it's because, you know, when you go for a heartbreak, it's like everything changes, right? There's a lot of insecurity happens. You know, you start thinking like things that you just know you're confident at. You're thinking, am I really confident in this? Bro, sometimes, you know, you don't even want to speak to other females, or you're shy now. All of a sudden you're shy. You don't want to do like bare things. Bare things are just, you get, it's like it's and do you know what it is as well? It's like, in my case as well, it was like more of like a cheating thing, right? So it's the whole trust thing. So it's just like, like, do 100% trust everything that she says to the T. And do you know what it is? They can be telling the truth and that, but just from past things that it triggers sometimes. But that helps with growing and, you know, understanding that, you know, I acknowledge that, you know, my brain and my heart we feel in a certain type of way, but we need to understand that we've moved on from that, and I can't let, you know, that haunt me. But it's definitely, it's definitely, you know, like, changed me to a certain extent on how I view things, and a lot of people will not admit that, you know.
Yeah, it can change you. I think it's even a little, because with me, the way it's changed, I wouldn't even say completely changed. I've always kind of been, like with me, I've always been quite to myself, but when basically, I had a boyfriend maybe, and like year 11 times, and then when we broke up, I think the only other person that I was like more vulnerable to was someone last year. So with me, it's like the way I take quite long in it to show that kind of side. So it's like, once that happened to me, and obviously it was cheating as well, I was like, do you know what? Like, no one's getting that side no more. Do you know what I mean? So with me now, like the way I look at, don't get me wrong, a lot of guys are like sincere, but sometimes you'll say something, I'm just like, whatever. Like, you're just talking. With me now, it's like I've got like the way I now am, like the way, how can I word it? I'm still like, obviously I don't push guys away on that, but with me, like I don't even look sad, but with me, like I take I take way more time now showing that side, because I've shown it before and look what's happened. But not everyone's like that, so you have to trust someone, like you said, to be able to show that side again. But because of what's happened, I just take my time now.
You know what I think I changed? Like, you remember that time when you had to come visit me when I was done? I think from then, this is like 2 years ago, by the way. I think from then, that point, I think that emotionally it changed me a lot as well. That's why that's why even me, like, and my family, that's why I tell you all the time, like even my mum, that was like the only time when mum was like, I remember that I had to call like my sis back home, like I was just down, like I was calling her and everything like that. Like I was having like a little breakdown on the phone to her, I'll be real. And then obviously, shouts French, she come see me. She didn't tell me she was going to come see me. She come see me up in uni now. But I think from that point going on, I remember thinking, bro, like, I will never let myself feel
that way again.
You know, like, I felt so like bad, but it made me like even though like what led to it weren't my fault, like I took blame from it all happening and everything like that. And obviously they were trying to say like, oh, it's not your fault, but yeah, like it just changed you like emotionally, that you won't let yourself be like vulnerable as a guy. I think, especially it being that first time that someone's proper known me or whatever, then for me to feel that way of after letting all that happen or whatever, never again would I let myself get that vested. But it's bad to say as well that I'll never let someone else. Obviously now I can say 100%. Like,
I think you know what it is. I think you'll know though. I feel like everyone was just like you can't. Like you'll know when it's time to show that side with that person. Do you know what I mean? Like, no matter what you've gone through.
People that I've dealt with after, and it's made me think that, bro, what was I thinking about that? Saying that I wouldn't let anyone. I've met some good people, literally. So
and that's real talk. Like, especially after you go through, so you meet some good people, really good people, and that you can meds with and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, man. This was like 5-6 years ago, by the way. I was today. but do you know what? I feel like it's good to go through that.
I think everyone, like, obviously I don't wish it on people. I feel like everyone needs to go through.
I feel like me personally, the younger the better.
Yeah, facts. I want to say straight.
It's just the younger the better, because now man's calm. But it's just like, but yeah, just like, because now, like I said, I understand life, I understand things way more, and I understand how to deal with things, and I'm more mature. I'm more of a mature man now. Yeah. Where then it was just more of just like, like you're still like it's like a baby. Like it can be you can be tampered. Your heart can be tampered with without you realizing. Boom, and it happens. It's just like whoa, and you go through that, and then now you know that if you go for a heartbreak and whatever, now you know how to deal with it, and you know how to not let you tear you down at all. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully keep you focused on whatever goals you still have, and know that the train is always moving.
Literally, I think I'm slight glad that I thought I was going through that, or now when I think about it, I wouldn't. Cool. At the time, I could say I was because I let myself feel like I was, if that makes sense. But I feel like now, looking back, I don't think I was, only because, well, obviously, like emotionally, like how I was viewing myself, I was. But I think now there's been things that have gotten to me way more. I let that specific whole circumstance make me feel worse than I should have. But there's been other situations that I found way more heartbreaking. That's not even relationship wise. That's like me, like just life stuff, innit? You get? So
100%.
With that, I think 100%. Like it made me like, it gave me like an iron suit already on like going around on things. You get?
I agree with that.
Everyone needs that. I think everyone needs that little bad part. Not wishing it on no one.
No wishing on no one. But yeah, like you said, younger the better.
100%.
Yeah, this makes me. I feel like even me right now, like before I wrap this up, like right now it's obviously like working track and obviously the pod and that, like I've seen some people that are older, they just shut down, like they can't go to work, it affects the like. I feel like I'm glad that even if I wouldn't call it heartbreak, I'm glad I went through them kind of emotions earlier, because now I just know like, it's right, it's whatever. Because if that happened to me now, I don't know if I would be able to like 100% do everything properly. Do you know what I mean? Because I've seen some people that it happens to them later and they just shut down like it's peak. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's like I think that's a lot on the view on life as well.
Yeah, it's true.
I think even yesterday at the award ceremony, I was speaking to someone and she was telling me how she's writing a book. I think what I'm talking about. Yeah, she was saying how she thinks people, it's the pursuit of happiness, and she was saying how she thinks everyone's No, she's saying people are unhappy because they're chasing the whole pursuit of happiness rather than sitting and thinking around like what I've got around me that makes me happy. I think that's what kind of like makes it worse as well with the whole people like getting older. Like say you don't have as much things going for you and whatever. Say that if I was older now, knowing that even if I've gone through one heartbreak, if I'm older now and nothing's going well for me, anything like that, and then man's just going through heartbreaking shit after heartbreaking shit, I feel like that can get to anyone. But yeah, I think it's also you just got to be appreciative of what's around you.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
That's the key, man.
Be
Literally,
grateful
man.
and appreciative.
Nah, shout out to that girl with the bluff. God,
It's not Kiara. Her name begins with a K.
girl on my eyes.
Yeah, same. Forgot to say her name.
Shout out to
Yeah,
her,
she
though,
was
like-
spitting yesterday.
Shout out to her
But-
getting us a promo in the podcast.
Like, literally. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's episode, and see you guys next time.